So good morning, everybody. Once again, we want to check this up, our update on Euro USD, and I believe is the same thing that we're going to get on the DXY. So what structure are we seeing? What is structure telling us? The most important thing is understanding the structure, looking at the points that structure may differ or may change, and how to flow along the structure. Now, it is very key. Trade will not do, or structure wave will not do any new thing in the market. The only challenge that anybody could have with trade is not knowing the structure. So even if the structure is changing, then you quickly have to recalibrate, and look at the structure and how it's changing and how to, engage that structure. Now, I'm going to say a couple of things here for us to really understand. Now, if I take this out, I've said a whole lot of things about what is cooking up here that I don't believe, and I don't think this is what a change of trend. And I believe that we're in correction. No matter what you see here, we are still in correction. That is what the point I'm trying to make here. We are still in correction. Now, when trend also is going to change, we may have something similar, to this when trend is going to change. But there are catches. There are things that we'll say in the middle that will tell us that, okay, this is most likely a change of trend. Now, the first catch is what you have here, circle, the first move, is what would most likely tell you, oh, there's a change of, there's going to be a change of trend. That is the first catch. The way and manner the first wave will go to the upside. Now, did this wave go to the upside in 5 swing, or it went up in a 3 swing? That is the first catch to it. Now, regardless of this one, all these ones in the middle can do anything. All these ones in the middle can do anything, can be anything, can be any types of correction, because if you're going to take this one as wave 2, or you're going to take it as an ABC of a correction. So the first is that, is this an impulse that went up in a 5 waves? Now, this came down in a 5 wave, this went up in a 3 wave, and this appears to have come down also in a 5 wave, which makes the correction in the middle here like a zigzag in itself, a zigzag, a 5 wave, 1, 2, 3 wave, and a 5 wave that made this one a zigzag. Now, are we seeing wave 1 and a 2? So that is what we are trying to, align ourselves. Is it like a wave 1 and a 2? We are 2 stored here, and are we seeing a wave 3? That is the questions we are asking ourselves. But in a smaller time frame, at least this one should have forced to run, like a 5 wave structure before we have this correction of A, B, and a C. That's what we would expect. But this ran up like a 3 wave structure. Even if you now go into the 4-hour time frame again, there are a couple of things that I want to show us here. Now this is where the move began. So if you even look at it, this one came up, and If you say that this is wave 1 and wave 2, this is not enough for wave 3, and we're having a 4 here. That is the problem that we have with this wave. You couldn't even say that if this is wave 1 and this is wave 2 in this time frame, and that this is a 3-1 and a 3-2, and this is a 3-3. So what happens to the 3-4 and 3-5? This wave is not complete. And because it's not complete, it's still an issue for us because it's not complete. And are we saying that this is entirely wave 1 and a wave 2? Even if that is the case, this one should have run at least in 5 waves, and you can actually begin to count the internal structures that, okay, it actually ran in 5 waves. Because if this is wave 1 and wave 2, this can never be a wave what? A wave 3. It's not the shortest. So it does not agree. Regardless of what you are seeing on the big time frame and the way the thing is going up, I still do not agree that this is 5-wave structure to the upside. It's 3-wave to the upside. Now, if this one had been 5 waves to the upside on a smaller time frame, you could have said we now have probably a zigzag correction to go to wave 3, of a bigger time frame, in which case we say this is A, B, and a C, and this is now running the third leg to the upside. Now, no matter what we want to believe here, no matter what we want to do here, we must always don't lose the sight, don't hold grip onto structure, hold grips onto what you have learned, and know that if anything is going to change, you are not going to burn your account because you are following structure, that you expect structure to turn around somewhere and it didn't turn around, and you give yourself just a little pip, like 30 pips, and once that is taken out, just wait and wait for structure and where something could happen again. And that is not what we are seeing here. So we are seeing something unfolding, which is probably going to be a bigger correction than what we expected. Now, we were thinking that this is going to do a double correction, a double zigzag. Of course, it has done A, B, C, and this is an X again. We are expecting this one to go up and give us a bigger double zigzag. Is it playing like that? Even the way and manner this had gone up, this also had gone up in 3 waves with an impulse. Will this one complete 5 waves to the upside? No, we are going to wait and see what this one is going to do. So you don't chase a structure that you don't even know and is not clear to you. And when I say, oh, I would have left it. Okay, it's buying. I would have left it. So if it's buying and you would have left it, where is it going? Where is it going to stop? So you don't know where it's going to stop. So we don't want to guess. We want to look at structures and say, okay, be able to, within the frame of this structure, this is what I expect. This is what I want, where I want to get in. And this is what I want to, where I want to get out. And if it does not play out, this is where I want, this is the limit of what I want to risk. That's all. Now, what is playing out? Let me go back to the daily time frame. What is playing out here? Now, if this one had not gone in 5 waves, and we have said that this is wave 3. Now, again, there was a time we were proposing, could it be an ending structure? Could it be an ending structure so that we have the last 5 waves and we now change the trend? What it's looking to me now is not that we are not in an ending structure. So that is what, are we correcting? Yes. Are we changing trend? No. So it's looking obvious to me that we're not changing trend and we are not in an ending structure. And that is what is looking, and I will tell you why I'm saying this. Now, so when there was a time we had a 1 and a 2 here. We had a 1 and a 2, and we said this whole structure is wave 3. And we were looking for us to have a big 4 where we're going to correct. But now, the way it is, we might just be having that big 4. And after that big 4, we're going to turn down to do a wave 5. That is what is, this is still correction. So the format this one has given us, it's a correction to the upside now. So it seems we're going to do a wave 4. We're doing a bigger 4. And if you're going to do a bigger 4, we are taking it from here, which is the top of 2 to 3, to know where this one is going. So that's what it's looking like now at the moment, a bigger 4. So if that is what it's looking like, a bigger 4, a 2, a 1 and a 2, and a 3 to finish a 3 here, this is 3, 5. Now, so is this 4 that is not playing short now and is getting extended? So that is what we are saying. So in that case, where do we expect the limit of this 4? If we take it from this 2 up here and down to where 3 had played. Now, at times, 4 could have stalled at 14.6. It could have stalled at 23.6, which is the limit of this first one that broke. Then the next destination now is 38.2. Where it should not go beyond is 50. So as it is, the way it's moving, the price is moving, this price is good to get to 38.2. So we were looking for reactions around that area to say we want to sell. And if we get reaction around this area, then we'll begin with 5. Now, that's one way of looking at it. We need to see reaction. We are not seeing any reaction yet. So now, what I'm trying to say now is that this price from the current, this is where it is for us. I'm going to take this one out so that it won't get us confused. I should use purple for it. I should use purple for it. Good. So I will use purple for it, and I will break it for us to distinguish that this is where we are expecting a price action now. So, and what we are saying is that we need to see this price move up another 200 or about almost 200 pips before we say that, okay, we're going to get a reaction. So if that is going to be the case, we are not going to turn down. It should be by next week, Friday, that we're probably going to see a tangible reactions to turn down. Now, having said that, let's look at the candle. The way the candle had formed on the daily. So the way the candle had formed on the daily is giving us a bullish sign. And this is where we said we want to get to, okay? But then, can the price fall from here itself? Yes, the price can still fall from here. But then, something is not just aligning, okay? Now, let me take let me do this. Let me take this out because I want to get this thing as cleaner as possible. Let me take this out. So I want to get it as cleaner as possible. Okay. Now, one thing about price is that if you look at the trend here, you are drawing a trend line from this base to this base. To this first base here. Watch this point 1 and this point 1. They are aligning with that trend. Support. Now, you may have thought that when the price broke this to the downside, the price will continue to the downside. So because it was breached. it was not a perfect trend. Then we had to correct the trend line. So, but again, did any candle on any time frame, at least 1 hour candle, 4-hour candle closed below this space? Let's look at it. Again, from here to here. So if you want to do a pinpoint now on a 4-hour to touch, okay, I think this is better on it on a 4-hour. So did any candle close here below it on a 4-hour? They were just moving around it. So this one touched it. Nothing lifted completely below it. Because nothing lifted completely, so it's still a foul play for more upside. So, and of course, we saw this move and the price began to sail to the upside. So now, price didn't respect that. So let me go back to the daily again. Then, if we say we want to clone this, let me take this out. First, note that price, with what we know, this price went up and there's a retest exactly on this line and price began to move forward. Now, this is something else because there is a complete closure of this candle on top of this trend. It was a resistance and it has become a support here now. So, and we saw the way price reacted here and it closed on a daily here. And we thought price was going to move further down. But the change, and this is, we will say this looks like a 1 swing, a 2 swing, and a 3 swing to the upside. But before I, go further on that, let's look at, if I take this out and I clone this new trend, before I take it out, let me do something. Let me readjust. Let me readjust this trend now, support for what is forming new, okay? So let me readjust that trend support first. What I'm doing first is just to look at trend, and before I begin to go inside of the structure and the wave to analyze, okay? Let's do that. So after doing this, let me take this one out in a moment. Let me take this out. And let me clone this. This one has done its work, so that it should not be confusing us. So let me clone this. Cloning this now. And let me push it to the point, either here or here, that we got the highest. If it's going to align. So I think, yes, this point is the highest here, okay? This point is the highest here. So the first move, we had cloned it. Now, after cloning this on the first move, so we can see clearly how the price had broken out of here. Now, this price breaking out of here is sending a strong signal to us that something wants to happen here. So now, before we say that, oh, this is where this thing is going, let's look again at our analysis. Let me take this out, because obviously they have changed that structure, but how has it changed is what we want to look at now. How has it changed? When we had in mind a double zigzag, if we have a double zigzag in mind, it only means that with our double zigzag in mind, it only means that the price should not go beyond 123. It can do an 100, but it should not go beyond 123. So when we had our double zigzag in mind, we said The whole of this is wave one and the correction, and we're going to get the third wave. So with that double zigzag in mind, so this is the beginning, one, and this should be A and a B to move to C. So let's look at that. This is the beginning of it. Now we turn down from A, then we'll come down to the point of a B to get a C. So in that regard, so this is a 100 and a 123 is still possible around this area. Let me push this. So a 123 is still possible around this area. If we are looking at that, a 123 is possible around that area. So can I shade this a bit? If I do this, good. Yeah. So a 123 is still possible here in terms of this entire move of an A and a B and a 123. So for now, again, you can still hold on to something that once you now have a complete bridge at 1.04221, then that is a total change entirely. That this is not going to play within a double correction because this one had gone up now. So we should be expecting a return leg. But again, it's looking on a daily like A3 swing. Okay, so we might just have a little extension. So we had pulled out of what we say 100 here. The first thing was like this association of what we were saying to say, okay, price may likely, fall from here, and price did a little correction, broke it. So we changed, and of course, we were expecting an 100. It didn't occur at 100. So the last place we should expect price is just few pips away, and that's about like 50 pips. So if that does not happen, already it's looking like that may not happen. So that may not, it's looking like that may not happen. But what I'm saying is that if we get a reaction here, then we're going to see the fifth leg. No, it's okay. We say this is 1, 2, 3, then 4 to come down. It didn't. The fifth is going up. So we might still see the sixth leg and the seventh leg to get to that area where we want to fall, which is this area. It's still not impossible. So we are still doing a correction. Now, when this one will not be a correction anymore, it is when this thing, technically pulls beyond 161.8, which is here. Which is here, 161.8, technically, within that correction. So once it pulls beyond 123.8, then it will not be a correction. So it will now look probably as an impulse. But again, before we even take this as an impulse, let's do something again. We are looking at all the possibilities. You are following me. I want you to follow me because everything is, we don't just, now. I'm doing this analysis on the daily for us to see. Now, this is again where we expect the price to react immediately if it's going to be within 123 and to do the sixth leg and finish the seventh leg and probably kiss this trend before we start with 5. That is also still possible. Now, if you are thinking that this is wave 1 and wave 2, and this is going to be a wave 3, So what do we expect? We expect then that in this case, this is going to be the beginning of wave one, and wave one will stall here, and we're going to pick the low and not this low, the low to get what? To get 161.8. So, and once price cross that border, then we say that yes, this is going up as wave three. Okay, but within the correction of this entire triad, 1, 2, 3, as an A and a B, and that you are still going to see a C leg that may run when is still very possible to these. So this may have this will just go up and come back down here, and so but we'll see. So now if we're going to treat it as wave two, at least before we say we are in wave two, we'll take this one up here, then we come to the top here, this top here. Then we run down, not to this point anymore now, not to this point anymore, because this point marks your double correction. But we are now going to come down to here, which is the limit of 2 in that case. We'll put it here, and we now say that now once price crosses that, so it is still very dicey. For it to be wave 2, I want to do something. Okay, let me use this green line. Let me use this green line. So once this one will be here. Okay, so looking at this, it's at the height of this resistance that we are seeing this, but this will still not make any sense to me. The price may walk up here before reacting, or the price may even react from this level. It doesn't really matter because it's the resistance. We might get a small reaction here and the price going a bit further up. Now, when the price gets here, it's the limit of what price should break this point before we say we are in wave 3 to the upside, considering this triad here of if this is wave 1 and A of 1, B of 1, and C of 1. So we're going to take it to the highest point and the base to give us this. Now, and within a frame of bigger correction of 4 that I told you, that I put in purple, can you see it's very close? So it's very close. No matter what our decision, no matter what our analysis is telling us, this point is a crucial point for price to react. It's a crucial point for price to react. And this point would decide a whole lot of things. This point in between here, it will decide a whole lot of things. It's a very thin point, very thin. And let me change this to this. Yeah, it's a very thin point. Very thin. So it's going to decide a whole lot of things for us as the limit of, at least the limit of what a 3-wave should do, or as the limit of what a 4 should do in terms of a bigger correction. So, but what we are saying now is that still looking at this is not a recipe for a bullish turn. It may have broken outside of this upper trend resistance, but this, again, it's not a bullish call yet. It's not a bullish or a reversal yet, not until we break outside of this place. So we don't even have to do 40% retracement before we know that, okay, this now is a bullish call. So we need to break out of here before you now say, okay, we now have a bullish call. Then we now begin to now do our counting or recounting. But for now, the way everything is building up does not still look as an impulsive move that will tell me we are changing trend. We know that once we break out of ABC correction, then it will be a suspect. But then a 123 is still allowed, which is at this level. So again, we need to see what is going to happen in between this zone. Let me change that also. Let me. In the immediate, we need to see what is going to play here in the immediate. We need to see what is going to play here. If I may change that, let me use blue again. So, and let me take this out. So we need an immediate reaction here now. And to know if we're going to get, and if you get a reaction here, it will only be a correction to the downside. It's not going to be an impulse to the downside. It's going to be a correction to the downside again. And if we correct from here to the downside, then we're not going to see a leg to come up to this area, and this place should not be breached. That is what we are saying. So once this place is breached, then it's something else. So we have a 50 pips move for a change of correction, or this price should not even get to this point without correcting, if it's going to be a bigger fall. So we are looking at the elements and the ingredients of correction and what we expect price to do. We are not controlling price, but then price will not do anything new, but what we expect of price. So the ingredient of correction, if it's going to be a fall, as we are proposing, is that price should correct first around this area. Price should not just travel immediately and get to this point, because if price does that, then the wave is not complete. So the wave is not complete. So because you can't have A, B, which is the first swing, the second swing, the third swing, and the fourth swing, we expect to turn down, and we broke up again. So because we broke up again, and we know also that we have not had an ending structure here. We have not had anything that looks like an ending structure for price to say, look, oh, I'm changing direction. So we've not had an ending structure, even on that time frame, on the week time frame. Let me go there again for you to see. We've not had an ending structure. Ending structure does not play like this. On the weekly again. So we've not had an ending structure. This is not a change of trend for me. We've not had an ending structure. It can only be, if this is a 2, this can only be a 4. So we've not had an ending structure to tell us that we are changing. So let me go back to the daily, because I needed us to see all these points, because we need to put all the resources, everything that we know together to see how it plays. So, but again, if this is now the 4th swing, and this one is going as the 5th swing, the 5th swing is not allowed by the rule of correction to travel straight to the point of fall, to now begin to swing down. That will never happen. A 1, 2, 3, 4 swing, and a 5, after 5 swing, price will now begin to come down and break structure to the downside. No. So we expect that before traveling here, there must be a correction force around this zone now to come down, at least get to at least 50% of the entire move here before coming up to finish up, that will fall to turn down. But what we are saying is that now, this price that is going up should not go beyond here to make this one a 123 in terms of move here. In fact, the way it's going up, not to have corrected in the first place, means that they are extending that arm of 4 to get to this point. So anything is still possible. We are going to deploy based on knowledge. We're going to deploy based on what we know. And we don't want to buy or sell at this point. We want to see price action. And when you are analyzing, you analyze that these are the points that I need to see action. And if I get that action there, then I know that the analysis is working that way. If I don't get price action and I'm getting it somewhere else, I don't have to engage it because it does not conform to what the fib ratio will agree to. So, but any moment from now, if we have that, fine. But if we just travel straight and get here, I still won't take it as 4 because I say something else is happening because I'm supposed to have seen a first correction to the downside, which is a 6, a 7, and we turn down. So we are looking at all that possibility. But for now, we should just hold our peace and refrain ourselves until we see sign. So that is what I'm saying. Now, is this a 5 wave? Even if this is going to be like a 1 and a 2 of an impulse to the upside and it's not correction, let's assume if it's going to be like that, then we expect at least the first one to have run in a 5 wave, which is a 3-1, a 3-2, and probably we are seeing a 3-3. Is that what we are seeing? So let's go inside of it. So everything is a suspect. It's like they want to confuse you as much as possible. So if this is a 1, is this one a 2? Does it even look like a 2 to us? Now, if you look at it, see, there is no Ojoro here. There's no Arumoje. We have to look at it so that we are not confused. So see, that is the height of it. If that is 3-1, if that is 3-1, and that we now have a 3-3 breaking it. So if that is 3-1, so 3-2 should at least get to a 50, which is around this level here, which is around this level. It never got there. It's just, it did as if it was wave 4. It did as if it was wave 4. And how would you now have a wave 4 when you have not even had a wave 2 in the middle here? So that's the thing. So you look at all the jokers, you look at everything that they are doing. So we don't just say that, oh, because it's bullish. And it can look bullish, but does it make any sense to me in terms of, okay, we are running a bullish sequence that is its motive? No, it doesn't make any sense to me. So I'm not going to trade it. So I will trade according to the sense it's making. So of course, it still looks like it's running like a 3 waves to the upside. So if I want to, think that way, that now this thing is running like a 3 wave, then I will probably say that, okay, maybe this one also, if this one is A and a B, then I should expect this arm to probably, run 100 or 123. If I'm not looking at the entire structure like I did before. So if I want to do that, to tell myself potentially where, because I say we can have a turnaround here or here, 123 of a bigger picture is here, and it should not be broken before we see a correction to the downside. So if I want to look at this wave in itself alone to tell me this is where I expect a change then of 123, which should not be more than 123, then I come here, I pick this particular wave itself, I come to the top here, which is just around this area, and I turn to the bottom here, which is around this area. So the bottom of it. So, and it's on 123, it's just falling around this area. Around this area. If I want to do something now, it's on 123, it's falling around that area. So let me do something. Let me do something. Let me make this one deep. His own 123 is falling around this area. So let me break it here. Now, what I've done here is that We are looking at analysis and telling ourselves that if I take this wave alone that is running an A and a B and a C leg, it should react here alone. And that is around, if I go back to the daily to see it well. Everything has to align with analysis. That's what I'm saying. So it means that we may be seeing reaction around this area, which is around 1.03845, but not more than 1.04195. These, by anyhow, these are just if I want to even take risk, what I want to do is just take risk around this area and put my stop loss, even though it's not a good practice, but because at times we don't want to miss important entry. But then when you are doing this, you use a very small lot size. That's why you can't just think that it's going to work like that because you have analyzed like that. No, it may change the structure for you. So, and that's why I want to just take a small risk, expect something around here and here. So, and that will be another less than how many pips? Less than, to here is 30 pips, to here is about 60 pips, 2 pips or so. So, but for me, even once there is a breach outside of here, I know that it's not working. So I don't have to let it break out of here and still take another 30 pips before I decide to close. No, I don't have to. I'm telling myself because I just don't want something to eat me before I make up my mind. So I'll be putting an alarm here on these 2 lines that this has been taken. Should this be taken and broken out by a week? I don't want to trade it. It should turn down exactly at that point. So the point of decision really is just within that 31 pips. That's just it. The point of decision is just at that 31 pips. But why we are putting it here is because of the brokers that, they have spread and all of that, so that you don't want to be taking. But, you don't want to put stop loss 5 pips above here. The brokers will hit you. So, but when you put it here, but this is exactly where you want a reaction between this space. And if you don't get it there, and there's a small break, price will still give you that opportunity of trying to correct within that frame, then you close it. You might actually close without losing anything. So that's the thing. But that is what we are expecting. We are expecting a reaction now within this 30, what do I call it now? Because price has touched this blue now. Okay, so we are expecting it within that 20 to 50 pips. So we are expecting that reaction within 20 to 50 pips, and it shouldn't be more than that. So if you want to put an 0.01 there, yeah, you can put it there and expect it. And so when you expect that, then it's going to be a reaction. Then we should now expect that the price should turn down at least 50% equal retracement. It could do like other ones they have done, other ones have done, maybe about 75 or 76. Let's see what other retracement did, from here. The first retracement to this point did just a little outside 76. And the second retracement, this one to this one, from here to this point, also did a little outside 76. So the higher this one had gone now, if anything, we should expect, because of the way it had gone up, we should expect at least 1.8 correction, And once we get to 50, we watch for reaction around that area of if in case we get a reaction here, and once we have a correction of 50%, we wait and watch reaction around that area. If price is now breaking below that 50%, then we tell ourselves price, we're not seeing a reaction. So price should not pierce 50. So once if price should pierce 50%, then we know that we are still going to go a bit further. So we watch for reactions. We don't just close immediately because we're not controlling the price. You don't say this is exactly, oh, it's at 50, it's at 61, it's at 76. But at times when we close like that, we now discover our price is still going further, down beyond our analysis. Then we now begin to bite our finger, oh, I should have left it. But the thing is that we watch for reaction. So once we have a break, a break outside of 50, then we can still leave and patch and come to an area where we put our stop loss. And again, watch if price move further down, then we put our stop loss at that 50. At least that one is secured. Then we wait again to see, are we going to get reaction at 61.8 or not? But the last place you don't want to cross is 76, for anybody that wants to partake. But we need to see that reaction. So what I'm saying is that even though this one had broken up here, don't take this as if it's going to go on. We need a correction at least. So we are expecting a correction. We want to sell a correction. I don't want to buy at this point. If I see a change or a price action, then I want to correct. I want to sell correction. So if I sell correction, I'm not going to sell it because it's going to break. No, this wave has to come here, go up one more time before I say I want to sell to break structure to the downside and start with 5. That's, the last wave of 5. That is what we are saying. With that analysis, I believe let's see. I think I'm done. So this one itself, so what we now expect is a complete break here. At the end of the day, we expect a complete break here. To the downside before we expect to break that now to the downside. So this is what we need to break to the downside now. So don't think that because this one had gone up so sharp, price can go up so sharp and come down in a corrective format. It won't, because it's just correcting. They can do anything. They can throw a big candle all of a sudden down, and take almost everything out. That's the way it can get bizarre. So, but in the middle here, is it 5 waves that we see in the middle here from here to here? In the middle here, is this 5 wave that we see? So we are looking at all of that. It has to align on the 1 hour time frame. Because if you are saying that maybe it's 3-1. So this may have run like a 1 and a 2, okay, which is not incorrect. This may have run up like a 1 and ABC of a 2. But now, this one in the middle, if you're going to take this one as the 3rd wave, then this one coming down here, and I'm not seeing anything like a 2 of the 3rd wave, nullifies all of that. So this also had gone up in a 3 waves. That's what I'm saying. It has gone up in a 3 waves. That's what I'm saying. So we can say this is A, B, and a C to finish this. We have another correction here, and this also went up in 3 waves. After this correction in the flat in the middle as A, B, and a C, and to now do this big correction. And this big rally of a correction, which is smaller also did 3 waves is A, B, and a C. So that is what I can see. I'm seeing 3 wave corrections, not anything 5 here. It will not agree because once you see a 1 and a 2, you should now see a 3-1 and a 3-2 before going further. So it does not agree. It does not allow. So these are 3 waves correction. So these are inside of 1 hour. Inside of 1 hour, look at this also. Look at this. These have gone up now, you know, and even if it's the last of the wave, this also has not done a 3 wave, because I still expect this one also to give me a 3 wave. It has not done a 3 wave. This is what we call a wickedness, a manipulation of structure. But let them continue to manipulate structures. But at least we should expect a reaction above this point to turn down. So when we get it, we get it. So we can begin to look at this structure in itself as the immediate structure to break. So that's how to do it now. So we begin to look at this structure in itself as the immediate structure to break. So if you put on your alert here, you should be seeing this as an immediate structure now to break. So once we break this as an immediate structure, we are looking at this as an immediate structure to break. We can set an alert here. And so once we break this structure, then we are coming down. So it's an immediate structure to break now. So I think that marks the end of that. So don't buy from here. We are only a seller once we see a price action, and you can take a small risk at those levels. All right. Happy weekend.